At this point in time, we are going to be inviting our next guest speaker. You will see on the program it says break, but I think we are still full. True or false? Yeah, somewhat. All right, so we'll go on to our next speaker, Mr. Dwayne Bent. He has been the director for training infrastructure development since April 1, 2023, and April 1 rings a bell. He also serves as technical delegate for WorldSkills Jamaica, based at the NSTA Trust. As technical delegate, he is responsible for implementing systems and standards to support skills development for experts and competitors for local and international competitions. He also facilitates Jamaica's obligations to the WorldSkills International Organization and establishes partnership, networks, and the linkages to facilitate skills development in keeping with WorldSkills standards. He has led and represented Jamaica in skills competition and development opportunities in countries such as Russia, France, Brazil, Finland, Brian, you have competition, and the United States of America and Ireland to expand TVET development in Jamaica. He also serves as technical expert for standard development and the director for the Executive Management Committee of the NSTA Trust. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and help me welcome Mr. Dwayne Bent.
Thank you so much for the warm introduction. I know it's not the most ideal time of the day, but I'm indeed happy that you were able to stay to feast into the presentation that I have for you this afternoon. The NSTA Trust, in brief, before I get into my presentation, was established in 1982 based on the Act to facilitate the development of skills for the industry. And for my colleagues from abroad, every industry in Jamaica pays 3% tax levy to facilitate training and development of skills in Jamaica. Now, just around 1982, when industries was evolving, there was a need for skills, certain industrialized, specialized skills, and this entity would have been responsible for the establishment of, somebody gonna, a pointer? Yeah, advance, okay. Right, so at about that time, the establishment required certain specialized skills. And these skills were what we needed to drive production in Jamaica for the agricultural, the manufacturing, industrial sector. We're pretty much there again, because now that we have artificial intelligence superimposing on those practices, we have to re-engage and strategize to move the industry forward. So this afternoon, my presentation will share with you pretty much that we are embracing for Vision 2030, goal number 1, Jamaicans empowered to achieve their fullest potential, and heavy focus on outcome number 2, where a world-class education and training system is implemented by the Trust. Now, to do that, there are 3 key focuses on which we are building the integration of AI in what we do. We are focused heavily on the quality of training, youth development, lifelong learning, industry strengths, and innovation. And this is to ensure the quality of training for sustainability and ensure that we are fully aligned with international standards for our graduates, consistency in performance in the industry. In terms of youth development, we're talking about the alignment of training to industry needs and providing skills for the future. And AI is where we are, where the future is concerned. And most importantly, training for emerging sector to spur growth and economic development. Now, every country that would have experienced the highest level of development would have to be focused on skills. Because once you do the design and the planning, you have to get the hands to the wheel to get work done. And some of the sectors that we're going to move to next are some of the areas that are driving Jamaica's growth now. And we have to pay serious attention where AI is concerned. So what the NSTA Trust have been doing, we have been looking at our TVET standards, program standards, as it relates to these sectors, and integrate things such as AI and the 4th industrial revolution technologies to drive each of these sectors. The renewable energy sector, AI has brought about significant growth in the renewable energy sector, because one of the things AI pulls on is power. Power and energy, we are consuming more, and especially in a time like now where it costs more to produce, we have to focus on renewable energy. So our design systems for renewable, our management systems, AI focus, measurement and analytics, all of those things are built in the programs we now deliver. Manufacturing is one of the largest programs we have now focusing on, because within the Kingston industrial area, we have a large set of manufacturing industries that are revolutionizing what they do, and they're focused heavily on the fourth industrial revolution, which is the base on which AI largely. And a lot of people are not realizing that, because what happened to us is that the fourth industrial revolution that was born in Geneva, Switzerland in 2019, and the AI advent, they came so close that people stopped focusing on the fourth industrial revolution, and mostly so on artificial intelligence. But where the work is transitioning, that is really the fourth industrial revolution. And so our manufacturing plants in Jamaica are now all fully automated, fully digitized, and can be controlled, a lot of them, from a simple device from anywhere in the world. And analysis is being done. And what it lends is that Jamaica becomes more productive in those areas. So more and more of those industries are coming on board, utilizing the technology. Our responsibility is to develop the skill set of our graduates to be able to fit into those industries. Construction. If we never needed construction, then we needed it now more than ever. We have been back-to-back 2 hurricanes. That speaks to the resilience of our people. And what we have been doing is to relook how we develop programs to treat those industries and focus on job certifications, which are a lot smaller, sector-specific areas, and using the technology to analyze and get work done. So the construction industry, we are heavily focused on revolutionizing. And the service industry is the playground for AI. And everyone knows that's the industry that AI is dominating, and that is where the greatest fear is, that AI will replace their work. But remember now that in every revolution that we have had before, every time there was a dispensation in the pattern of work, it creates new jobs, new way of thinking, and new opportunities for entrepreneurs. And so the service industry is also being revolutionized. Agriculture. We are now focused heavily on automation in agriculture, and we are integrating it with things such as robotics and drones, and all of these things are the prime ground for the generator of data that fuel that algorithm that you can use to do all the necessary analysis and speak to decision making using AI. And so for agriculture, we are heavily focused on that. Tourism and the creative industries as well. These are 2 areas. The speaker before me mentioned hospitality and tourism. And, you know, service in the tourism sector is what Jamaica is best known for. We have one of the highest repeat tourism activities here in Jamaica. And so when you go into our hotels now, you'll see things like robots on the ground, speaking, asking questions, and providing you with water, refreshment, and giving you directions and instructions, and providing you with answers to the questions you will have. So that industry is revolutionizing as well. So all our receptionists, front desk agents, and so on are being impacted in type of training that we are providing. And of course, the creative industry. Jamaica was always been known for its creative capability. Our arts and culture is so rich. And so we have been building out those industries to fuel the growth in Jamaica. And of our ICT and communication sector. Of course, with all that we just mentioned, if we don't have a robust information communication sector, we are in challenge. And I know that our government is working to ensure that we build stronger on that, especially the fact that we had 2 back-to-back hurricanes. And so some of the skill sets that we are focusing on now are things such as ICT infrastructure network. And we're working with some entities in Japan and China to help build out those programs. We have just launched our Global Training Center in the Hart College of Construction in Portmore. And these are some front-end programs that we are implementing there, including intelligent security systems that speaks to what AI is all about and navigate those spaces. So this is where we are focused. So to put it in context, and I won't belabor because I know a lot have been said, but pretty much in context, we focus largely on 3 types of intelligence: artificial intelligence, human intelligence, but most importantly, collective intelligence. You know, we can't do it without human, and AI can't stand alone. And so it's not something to fear. It's something to embrace, And every human on the face of this earth need to understand it and see how best we can embrace it. In the workspace, we are directing people to embrace the artificial intelligence and in our training. It's not anything to fear. All right? You may continue. Now, go ahead. Look at the elements we're talking about. In our programs, a lot of them will focus heavily on natural language programming, machine learning, and computer vision. And if you were to enroll in any of our mechatronics, robotics, additive manufacturing program, all of these programs that we now have implemented, we have unmanned aerial system pretty much captured in these three areas, right? Computer vision is becoming more popular because we can use capture to capture and analyze data using AI, such as we build with our robots or drones and those systems. So you can advance. What it comes down to is what we have here. These are the elements of the fourth industrial revolution. Some of them you'll hear for the first time. But believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, this is what we are talking about. Artificial intelligence, augmented reality, cyber-physical system, radio frequency identification, digital product memory, machine-to-machine communication, man-to-machine interaction, man-to-robot collaboration, pick by light and put by light. All of these are how the industries are shaping to utilize these strategies to operate right here in Jamaica. And what it has done is that it increased productivity and efficiency. Now, you may say that it will allow for some shift in the employment numbers. But what it does is that it mass production, so you have more persons in logistics and transportation, more persons producing raw materials to facilitate. And so you're growing in some areas while you're focused on the 9-to-5 shift. And so what AI requires is a mind shift and an understanding what is driving all of this thing. And if you notice, the AI is on top because it superimposes on all of those other features. So to best understand what happens when you leave the classroom and go in the workspace, what happens, how the industries are shaping, why you're able to connect and buy on Amazon and all of those places, why you're able to try on a dress using in the virtual world before you actually buy it, is because these features, our EV vehicles or have, our electric vehicles, RFID, we have to understand that the battery system. We're doing programs called battery technology. Your life is in the hand of a battery when you go behind a steering wheel. If the battery cut, that's it. Whatever device you have when the battery goes, that's it. Right? And so you have to understand how it works. So for our RFID and all of those things, we can tell anywhere in the world a vehicle is plugged in to charge. When it charged, how long it charged, and how far it took you when it charged. And all of that data can be analyzed to make decisions and move forward. Now, what is happening in our training space? These are some equipment and technologies we have brought in that is shaping how training is delivered in TVET, right? And pretty much, you can interface with them. You can go on our website, you can look at our program schedule, and you can see all of these programs. All of these includes now AI. We have just implemented our smartboard i3's technology. And so what that enables us is that we can actually have satellite programs delivered anywhere and use the smartboard to operate machines within the classroom without a physical teacher. And synchronize the lessons across. All right? Things such as LabVIEW, Python, JavaScript, Raspberry Pi, all of these are softwares we're using for programming the different languages that are used in the industry. PID control and SCADA systems, Arduino is very popular now. And all of those are the playground for AI. So you don't have to flick your light switch anymore. If you want it to operate by a motion or frequency, all of those things you can pick up. If you have your camera system and you want to detect dogs, human, anybody, it sends you a message and analyze and pick up those features from our intelligent security system. And these are the softwares that are driving it. We can now draw and develop in 3D at the same time using Revit and also export information. All right? It comes down to these are some impressive programs that we want you to speak about when you speak about heart. This is the new emerging sector. These are driving industries. And no matter how AI, whatever shape or form that AI comes, these are the foundation skills that will always be required to drive production and growth of any economy anywhere in the world. And so if our careers are aligned to these, right? And our careers are aligned to these, you have a solid foundation, never have to worry about AI more than how AI will make you productive and engaging in the industry. So all of these programs we have now implemented in the trust. All right, okay. And these are some labs that are multi-purpose. These are set up, our future labs. And the reason for those future labs is that as technology change, we can go and remove the structures and the systems. So we have established some labs, and some of them are still in the process of developing, that whatever technology comes, we can adjust to meet the demand of the labor force. And how did we establish these? These are established by keeping close linkage with the industry. We work with the industry. We understand not just locally, but abroad. We have studied industries in South America, North America, Europe. We have been to all of those countries to see what is coming and what it means. Through WorldSkills International, which we are a member, every competition, every modern technology and future technology you can imagine comes to the floor in that competition space. And its engineers and educators across the world studied and know. And that is why we were able to brought in so many of the modern machines, most of which were gifted to us free of cost, because we went out there to see and sought what is relevant. All right? You can skip that. This is just some average hourly rates it's telling you in US that persons are earning with these skill sets. You can continue, right? And so our labs are now modernized similar to these. And what you see in there is an integrated lab where we can do mechatronics, we can do robotics. So whatever the industry is, the shop floors become smaller in the industry because the machines are now more integrated. And that is how the training is happening. So you're getting more in production capacity out of less physical resources on the floor due to the technology and management. Here we are, we have additive manufacturing. All of these programs are the new buzz. People call it 3D printing. Proper name is additive manufacturing. But you can produce more with less space and time. Right? Mechanical engineering, CAD, we can manufacture products from here. There's a company in Jamaica here that design using mechanical engineering CAD, and some of our students work with them for places like Starbucks, KFC, and so on. They design the chairs, the desks, the tables, sell the design, and then they are produced somewhere out there just simply by engaging with the technology and the software. All of those things they use while we integrate to the AI. All right? So pretty much, it can come again. And this is all welding. We have transformed what you would regularly know as welding that a lot of people fear, that we can now do virtual welding to build muscle memory and concepts and move them to modern welding plant. And we have just acquired some of the PowerWave 3000. What that does is that traditionally, if you know welding, you know the welder used to drive with a lot of bottles behind them, the acetylene, the oxygen, and carbon, and all of those things. With our PowerWaves now, all the gas is mixed in one and can be streamed through a pipeline, and you don't have to encounter with those dangers with transportation anymore. Right? So we have those that we're introducing now, and those give you data on the weld that you can analyze how many times the student try, and if the student will make it on the 5th, the 4th try. All of those things we are combined. So much so that we have a partnership now with NC3 out of America, which is one of the largest certification body for sector-specific skills. And they are certifying our welders right here now in Jamaica using these machine and technology. Next. All right. So some of these would have mentioned already if we're going to get deep. Time is good. All right. So pretty much you can always explore those. This is a robotic welder that is to come on stream soon, that it does the total welding by itself without any human interaction. And this is a 6-axis welder. Pretty much anything, anywhere, it can turn and twist just like your hand and carry out the welding while it is programmed. You use AI, you can give the instruction, tell you what it wants, whether you want a seam, you want bead, all of those things, and it carried out. And this will be on stream at the Heart NSTA Trust very soon. Right? Water technology, we are moving. We know that water shortage is going to be a challenge over the next 40, 50 years, they said. But what we have not been doing well, and we saw it when the hurricane came, that Samaritan's Purse was able to come and use our water from the spa and treat it and sort it out, desalinate it and reverse osmosis and produce water for the people who did not have water during the hurricane. This technology we have just introduced, and we are focusing on it to get the machines built out. As a program, we have built the standards and we're in the process of acquiring it, that we can become more resilient as a people in the workforce. So that's technology to come. And also, here we were in Brazil. Yeah, that's me. Yeah, Rome Industries is one of the largest manufacturer, aerospace and manufacturing industry. And this is the future of additive manufacturing. Everything that you want to build can go inside that machine and come back out as a product. And that is what we are aspiring to get, because that is where, through AI application, imagine things and it is produced using that additive manufacturing thing. And I want to thank you so much for listening to me.
Okay, there, you have a question? Go ahead for me, please. May I have the roving mic? Dr. C, I think you can project. Well, I was hearing you just now.
Thank you very much. Yeah, what you have done is really brought into context what productivity looks like. And I was just saying to our international partners that you're from the skills, so you have to understand productivity. But it's how you articulate it. And this is why we had such a push to bring the skills hard more into tertiary and also into high school education, because we cannot be working in isolation. We have to work together to achieve productivity. And this is one of the reasons in the presentation earlier from our colleagues from the US, they were showing these things and the Zooms and so forth. But for those of us teaching tertiary and classical education, it's hard to articulate. But you brought it about so clear and with such, yes, yeah. And let's face that, they have the money to do it.
The 3%.
Goes to them. What is wrong? It's not working in isolation to really come together. So my charge to you is, I don't know if you can do much, how do you then stimulate or get across to the powers that be that you really have to bring together and the high school to work with hard to really achieve the level and exceed productivity in the way that we have outlined. Because that's what AIO has been saying. This is K-12, this is tertiary, this is how we work. But I don't think you brought it, you fit the nexus beautifully. So please, what can you do?
Okay, all right.
Based on what you articulated.
Right, Doc.
And also, secondly, then persons will now understand that when we're talking about the back end, if you take the facilitator role, then the student using these pieces will drive, using AI to drive through their own creativity.
Exactly.
Drive productivity.
Sure.
That's when the lecturers use the facilitator role and empower the student to use AI to drive that kind of innovation. So please say how you can really link that to the money you guys have.
Yes. I can try. You sat on the board, so you will know. But thanks, Dr. Carnival, for injecting that. And that's why I said from earlier, we are fueled by the industry. But the part that most people don't tell is that we don't get a subvention from the government like the other entity. So it's a standalone. And the truth of the matter is, Dr. Cornwall, we have been working with the high schools and the tertiary, and what we seek is more high schools and tertiary, to work with us. Currently, we have at NTI our mechatronics machine, and they are doing vision with mechatronics and PLC, and that's the fourth-year engineering students from the University of Technology. We met and we discussed, just like you have said, how can we use the resources we have, UTech have, and come together and make the best of it. And we did welding, we did virtual welding, we did PLC, we did electrical, all of those things that with the machines we have. And now we're doing the vision with PLC, which is an advanced level. At NTI, in our level 3 program, the fourth-year students from the engineering program at UTech, they are there today as I speak right now. And we are working with the competencies with our instructor to give them, because there's no discrimination between education and skills, and it's one of the misnomers that we need to eradicate out of the mind. We have also been working with the technical high schools. You may have heard it, but just to affirm that we are supporting the 15 technical high school, and we have just done a capacity building training with them with robotics and AI, and we have just bought for them 125 robotics kit, and in the process now of handing over to 6 of those institutions. And to come on stream, we have things such as mechanical engineering lab, mechatronics lab. We also have industrial controls lab, industrial automation labs, all of those, digital construction, that those monies have been put aside and we're in the procurement process to bring into the technical high schools. We have also worked with the university. We are going to WorldSkills in September this year, and the University of Technology is coming with us. We have registered them, and they are going with us to explore technology, machine that can revolutionize the lab there. But not only that, we have international engagement partners that come here, and each time they come, we allow for them to tour not just Hart, but we have done Montego Bay Community College, University of Technology, and some other entities who come and embrace. Excelsior, I just spoke with the nice lady as I was coming in, and she told me about Allied Health. I have a partner coming in from China, from VCOM, this month end, and we're going to be doing a 1-week training in Portmore. But part of their coming here is to set up an intelligent nursing lab at Garmex. And I was saying that we can work together, we can do the full body analyzer and all of those things with those technology. So we are here, and we're happy that we are here, because you know very well, Dr. Cornwall, that Heart is all about expanding through partnership and all of that. And we do give the support. Heart is really saying no to anybody when we are called upon. All right? So we stand ready to support at any time. All right. Thank you so much. Go ahead. Yeah.
One more question. Okay. Let me, first of all, commend you on really bringing to light the tremendous work that, Heart in Trust is doing. And we applaud that. And, we are very happy to know that, Heart has really moved to utilize the AI technology in terms of what it does. Yeah. The question, however, is what's our reality? We have a workforce that I think the last set of data indicates somewhere between 15 and 20% certification of our labor force. So there is another 75-80% of the persons who are currently working do not have the requisite certification and skill set that is required going forward. We have also observed, in particular, as it relates to the tourism sector, that a number of the contracts and the service providers given to persons coming from the DOMREC as well as from Puerto Rico and other places where the Jamaicans, because they are not certified, they are not given the job. They are the on-demand that works with those persons while they are the ones doing the work. Yeah. The question is, strategy. What strategy in terms of a collaboration that would enable the utilization of AI technology to address that gap that currently exists with the current workforce? Because what you're doing will make a difference within the next 3 to 5 years. because, you know, those things are necessary and you're now training the persons to do it. But how do we leapfrog from where we are now to where you want to go? How do you see a collaboration with whole or Excelsior Community College that will enable you to get access to that 80% of our workforce that are not certified and would want to have AI technology integrated in how they do things and become more productive?
All right, thank you so much. And that's an excellent question. And that question has always been at the forefront of any engagement. And as you've mentioned the numbers, I just want to remind us all that it's a moving target, because when we do the analysis, one of the things we recognize is that large among those who immigrate and leave Jamaica is our skilled, trained graduates, because they recognize the value of their skill. And if you notice, my presentation had 3 slides where I put in context the rate at which they are paid. And when you look at 5,000 Jamaican dollars an hour across the waters, and then here in Jamaica, they're earning $4,000 per day or less, it lends in terms of some decision making. But to answer the latter part of your question, what we have done, we have just acquired a training management system, and it comes through Australia. You know, Australia is well known for their TVET capabilities and industry linkage. And we are now onboarding it to implement a virtual academy. And what the virtual academy will do, over the years we have learned that while persons are in the industry, to make the decision to leave work and come to school has always been a challenge. But they are there with the hands-on experience, and now with the technology coming with the AI, we are able to reach them using the virtual academy. So they can log on from anywhere in the world and do a program, get access, get certified, and only on schedule that they would come to do any aspect that they are required to demonstrate competence. And we think that that is a breakthrough, because we have been engaged in the industry. We have been inside the industries, talking to them. We see them on the shop floor and they say 20, 30, not certified, but they are doing the work competently. We have the standards that match their day-to-day tasks and activities, and we have been reaching out to our industry liaison officers to do the work. But it takes some time, but with the technology now that we have just onboarded, we are able to reach. And so what we have done, working with CARICOM and the Brazilian government and the German government also, we have just established a pilot within the Caribbean region, Jamaica, Barbados, Grenada, and Trinidad. I led that project. And we have just digitalized a number of TVET programs that are now on our Moodle platform, supported by AI, with the learning guide, books, and all the modules and practicals that are transferable. And that was launched and onboarded within the Caribbean region just in the month of March. This will give people access to doing TVET, especially those who have developed competence but have no recognition or certification for certification, portability, and employment. So we are working on those things, and as I said earlier, it's a support of the industries and entities like your institution and other institutions. By coming together and working, we can provide more of these solutions, because we are not short of brain space to come up with the solution, just that we are not knocking the heads together sometime in the same space, and we want to do that more. Yeah.
Thank you very much, and well said. And Sir Dwayne, I'm holding you accountable for the fact that you say the Heart NSTA Trust is built on partnership. And we know our sister colleges, our sister college in, all, can afford it. And we hope that on your way back home, you'd leave some of those hefty resources with us. We would love to have some of the technologies that were just explained a while ago. So I'm really hoping that when our students would have completed a particular course of study, it is that they can get that hands-on experience. Because yes, we know we are fighting in the same global space for students and the likes, but and hear me out, my family, our one Jamaica we say.